leadership. Not everyone will buy into understand what's happening from the beginning. And you start with the owners. They obviously need to understand what's going on, need to buy into what's going on, because if they say no, nothing happens. But for the employees, there's usually an education process as well, and you will not get everyone on board. And if the owner is going to stay on, and in particular if it's their vision, they can be great leaders for that. But the leaders don't always have to be senior people. They can be people at a lower level as well, and certainly when we're working on a transition, we usually try and set up a transition team that might be drawn from different parts of the organisation that can get involved in a lot more detail of what's going on. We usually are doing group presentations to all the employees, but that can only go into so much detail. But that smaller team can act as a conduit for sharing information with a wider group of employees, but also getting the employees' views on certain decisions as well. But you do need to have some people involved who see what's going on, believe in it, and will help drive it through. But also with the expectation that you will never get 100% buy-in. So, and that can be quite frustrating for some people when they go through one of these transitions, because there's a group of people who are really enthusiastic about it, but some people just are never going to be interested, and that's okay. And that's all right. But it's the hope is that as each year goes by, more and more people will buy into it. And you actually never know. And we had a transaction that completed in December 2012, 100 employee business. The employees were offered the ability to buy shares, and our expectations were relatively low as to who would sign up, and they got over 80% of the employees to sign up to start saving money from their salary to buy shares. That was very surprising, but a key part of that was because they had been very good at sharing information internally, particularly on the finance side, because when you're asking people to put the money in their pocket to buy shares, you've got to give them information about how that business is performing. And they were really good at that, and they really got that right. And they did a lot of sessions with employees and got a lot of feedback to work out, right, okay, they didn't understand this bit, so we'll put a bit more effort into that next time. But then I've got a business that I work with down south that's got 1,600 employees, and they're really chuffed when they get over 50%, because they have a lot of younger employees, quite a high staff turnover. So they get a lot of people who leave during the year and people who won't buy up shares. But they've got people on relatively modest wages with £50,000, £60,000 worth of shares that they've saved up over the years. So they're chuffed with that. But it's important to have it, because without it, it will struggle to succeed without some people cheerleading in the business. You also need to make sure that even if some people don't understand it, if they're in senior positions, if they're negative about the process, they're potentially a poisonous element as well. So you need to make sure that neutral is acceptable, but negative can be actually quite a corrosive influence if they're continually sending a negative message up and down the management chain.